Hello friends, welcome back to the new tutorial of the FastAPI SQL model. Today we are going to learn about the data validation, serialization in SQL model with FastAPI. So those who haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe my channel, and if you like the video, please do like, share and comment on my video. Let's get started. So first of all, we are doing the data validation. So what is data validation? It shows that the incoming data adheres to expected format, types and the constraint. In short form, we can see about the data validation is what is like whenever we do any kind of the request, we have the request, right? First name, last name, email, age, whatever we have the fields, right? When we have a request, post request, so how we can validate? First option is the front end will add the validation like email is required, first name should have this much characters, last name has some this kind of characters, age should not be greater than this much characters. So these are validations. So these are done by the front end also and the back end also. So you can also do at the level of you can say about the model level, or you can do at level the you can say about the controller level. So we are doing on the model level, which is the best one, right? So SQL model uses pydentic. Okay, so what we are using pydentic for the validation, allowing you to define the models with the type hints, validators and the constraints. So let's have a look. So here we can see that we have the integer that should not be none and the primary key to be true. Name should be string, field and minimum 3, max 50. Email should be email string, that is a pydantic email validator. Age should be not greater than 18, less than 100. Okay, and you can also declare the custom validators at by using @validator name. So definition validate underscore name CLSV. If not in alpha, then raise the error that name must contain only alphabetic characters. Okay, so we have the field constraints. We have a custom validators use @validator decorator to implement the custom validation logic. Okay, serialization with the SQL model means is the process of converting your data models into the JSON compatible formats that can be sent over the networks. Okay, so in that case, you can use the user.json, serialize the model to the JSON. Okay, otherwise, we have already automatic JSON method converts the model instance into the JSON string. Okay, so there is also another matter, that is we have already make the schemas. Okay, on the behalf of it we will return the data according to it. We can also use that one also. Okay, so let's combine this and use that into our code. So here we have the code. So here we have all the imports. Okay, so which is we have fast API, okay, SQL model, typing, context lib, models and the database. So first we have initialized the fast API. We don't require here, we don't require it because we have already declared here. So contents manager basically for the initialize whenever the app is loaded, so you can perform the actions like creating the database, connecting to the database, create dummy tables. So on you can say when the system startup, so in that case you can use that one. Okay, then we have a session. Okay, now we have the next part. We will go with our custom exception handler for the validation errors. I have this written notes over there. Okay, so here we have the custom error handling. Fast API uses exception handlers to manage errors that occur during the request processing. So whenever there is a request process, so it automatically handles Fast API. So what is request validation error handler? So here you can see that we have a request validation error, so custom exception handler for the validation errors. So basically the fast APIs call this automatically. Okay, so here we have this one, request validation error raised automatically by the fast API when the request data does not conform to the expected pydentic model. In that case you can use custom handler. This handler extracts the error messages for the exception and returns them in a simplified JSON format. Okay, so custom handler is that one. Okay, so here you can say custom HTTP exception handler. If I go and check over here, I will check that's one, that we have a HTTP exception used for raising the errors for the specific status codes and details manually. Custom handlers returns the details of the HTTP exception as provided, ensuring the consistency error responses. So these two things we have already added. So this is our custom exception handler for the validation. So whenever we have a validation like name should be like this much characters, email should not be a valid format, in that case we have to send a proper message like this is the message error, right? So in that case we have using the custom exception handler for the validation errors, because if you're not using, then the data is like is not the way that I want to send to the front end. Okay, in that case we have to format it according to the responsive. So here we have that one exception handler. After we have error messages, then we have to extract and format only the error messages. Okay, and then we have a custom exception handler for the other http exceptions. So what we have to send, that is status code and the content. Okay, and here we have the endpoint to create a user with validation. So users response model that we are calling the user. So here we have a user model. Okay, here you can see that user model we have, and here we have the user pedantic model for the input validation. This is for that one, and this is our basic model for the database. Okay, so here we have defining that one what we require. Okay, let's go, and here we have a user model. When we click on this, will be call. Okay, then db user. Okay, so here we go with the, here you can see that we have a user create. So here you can see that we have a user create model. Okay, so what we have, name, email and the age. Okay, so it will call over there user model. Okay, so name, email and the age, these are required. Then add db user, commit, refresh and return. If the value error that we have, then we have the http exception detail and the status code, that is 400. Okay, let's check whenever we try to save any data what will happen. Let's open the postman and let's check this one. So the we have to run this. So it's running. Okay, so here we go, our postman request, then we have a body. Let's try to send it out, and here we have value error, name must contain only alphabetic characters. Value is not a valid email address, the email address is not a valid, it must exactly at the rate one sign. Okay, so we have the name should not be not contain, must contain only alphanumeric characters. Okay, alphanumeric. So here we have the validations, right? You can go and just check over the models. Then we have the minimum 3, then 50, and here you can see alphanumeric error, name must contain alphanumeric characters only. So we have a validation, right? So make sure you have to use that one, alphanumeric. Okay, and we have the John Doe at the rate, we have to use the Gmail, so that will go with this one. Okay, so add the any of the alphanumeric, and let's try to send it up. Here you can see the email, this response is added to our database. If I go and check, and we have a user, and let's check out with our login, and here we go with the table, we have the select data, then this is a fourth record that is inserted. So this is how we can validate our data. Any doubt, any query in that, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day.